Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So this video is talking about all the skill changes to all the characters on this game. So actually this video especially took a long time until I got all the information on the changes on every skill, because that didn't happen on just 1 month or anything like this in Korea, but actually it came from so long times. Like they do patches different than what we do. For us, we just do it on every 1 month or every 28 days. But for them, they do a lot of changes every week. So every week can happen a small change. But we did it after 1 month, so we did all of this. And actually, what I got from like 2 months is actually when I learned a lot and I began to search and find if this still is really happened or not. So that's happened from 2 months until the next patch. What I expect it will be for third split archer. Maybe the other changes will happen when this happened. But away from this, that's how it go. So actually it was so much hard work. So don't forget to like and subscribe, or I actually will tell you this time, guys. And let's begin this. Okay, so that's how it's going. Let me try to make this a bit bigger. So look how big is this patch. Too much big actually. On the skill changes, look how much I will move down. Still all of this kinda so huge. So anyway, let's begin to talk about the most important things first, or some fast changes happened on one of these patches for sure that I said about before. Okay, so some of these first changes for sure I made everything on the same, because I had to see like maybe a lot of changes on the same character can happen on a lot of times. So I actually put it everything above each other, so I can make things a lot easy when I made this video and for you as well. So the most important things that Fire Blade Master as example and Soul Shield get some buffs and damage, or badge that buff as well. Spectral Blade Master also Soul Shield that buff. Fire KFM buff, Soul Shield, Wind as well. Serpent Shadow also have some buffs on Soul Shield, and here some buffs also on Soul Shield. Fire Force Master, Ascension Stone Change, and there is Soul Shield buff. Earth Soul Fighter Soul Shield buff, and Force or Forest Soul Fighter also have Soul Shield buff. Tanner have Alpha Call Bud fits, but still you will see something or a lot of things. Astromancer Polarity buff, and for Storm also the same, and Dawn Bright badge have or had a bug and actually that fits it. Bard have a window effect, but also fits it. Okay, so first starter we will begin to start with is actually Blade Master. So what happened to Blade Master? So actually we have Legendary Misted badge, Searing the Sword Force PvP changed. That's a debuff for PvP, or some damage decrease on PvP, so we don't care about PvP that much at this video. But in general there is some nerf for PvP for Blade Master, but we didn't talk about the important thing. Legendary Misted badge, Searing Sword Force actually increased too much, as you can see, from 950% to 3k% per hit. So that's actually a huge number. Also Blade Master Poharan through Soul Shield for Dragon Tongue Awaken, Phoenix Wind increased by 20%, or sorry, about 40% from 80 to 120 on the True Poharan, and for the other one just increased by 20%. So for sure if you got True Poharan you will get so huge buff. So let me check in game. So as you can see here, the badge going for 3k of attack power on the Searing Force, and here on Poharan, as I said, the increase reached on the Dragon Cold Awaken and Phoenix Wind by 120%. So actually this will go for set number 3 and set number 8, right? For sure it's going for both of them. So for sure that's high increase. If it was 80, that's mean 40% on the 3 and 40% also on the 8. So that's for sure a huge damage. If we give it a small try, for sure the numbers actually is talking. Normally fire don't do that heavy damage when it starts something like this. So for sure there is something. For Spectral third spec, also some PvP nerf, and from here, but also the Soul Shield increased by too much. Actually Sword fall from 70% to 280%. That's so heavy damage. And on normal Poharan from 60 to 200. so that's a lot for sword fall. And also for the slice awaken fallen stars, all of this increased from 50 to 125, and that will be for set 3 and set 8 as well. So as you can see, this one is actually so high DPS. So if I will say I will try and burst, going for simple mode like this, so doing like this, look, I actually hit the 400 million DPS on my first burst, so that's high burst for sure. Maybe this number can happen higher than lightning itself, so actually this should do something different because of this soul shield change. Okay, going for other changes. Okay, so here's some changes for the breaker. So actually the block normal and violent blade is not working now as a break. That's something on lightning. Also break removed from one strike 10 cuts. Actually I felt this when I was streaming in Wednesday, and I felt something not right, like I used 10 cuts but nothing happened, and that's what made me actually found out that the skill changes happen, and I began to look to this. But actually they added the break on the blade on my Z when I use my V. So now as I am playing with normal fatal blade stance, normally I don't have anything. Normally if I use my fatal blade nothing will happen, but now they put it on my Z. So as you can see, it's 12% break on this. So actually it's better number than what I thought. I thought it will be just 4% or 5% like what it was. But actually 12% when you use it every 30 seconds, I think this number is good enough. But the bad problem on this, like if I will go and begin to do my DPS as example and do everything and going for everything, for sure I didn't go for my burst well, and actually normally you will forget that you have that, so I will have to use it on time like this before my stance go out, so I can do everything well. So if you want to use this well, you have to focus on the time you will take on your V before you use your Z for sure. So simply you have to make your calculation fast before you go for this. Okay, some other changes going for PvP. So some nerfs as always for PvP because they want to make things a bit balanced and no one can take you so easy and kill you. I expect PvP will be good on this day, so I will have to go and try this because not just a Blade Master but a lot of characters is doing like this. Anyway, for lightning also you have Poharan Soul Shield increased as well from 80% to 100%. That's I mean 20% here on True Poharan, and that will be for stage 3 and or sorry 3 pieces, and also will be for 8 pieces. That's I mean I got increased by 40% on my on the slash and awaiting on the slash. Away from this one is not a big one. Also flicker and bleeding edge, if I use the other spec, also increased to 100% from 85. For sure they are doing better damage than on the slash a bit, so that can make things maybe a bit balanced between them. Blade crawl also get from 80% to 225% on True Poharan. That's actually a big huge number. Flash step also increased by 10%. This 10% will be 20% also because of number 3 and number 8 as well, so that will be a huge damage for myself on lightning. Also BM Poharan True Poharan Soul Shield lightning draw damage added. It wasn't have anything on the True Poharan. Now from 0 it will be 225% on True Poharan. So all of this is super big things for sure. Okay, also there is a fire break added to Blade's storage, like what happened on lightning when I used that. So I showed you this before, I don't need to do it again. And there is some small points that switch to basic stance to perseverance. Actually I didn't find this one. Counter strike 3, second wind and world whatever storage I sent. Tool tips and spectral first slice, actually some Korean stuff. Blue sword, whatever on the name PvP mode for anything. Anyway, let me show you the part for the lightning. So as I said, you have last one on the 3, so lightning draw, flash step, blade crawl all have 225, and also the change for 100% on 10 cuts, and awaiting on the slash flicker 1 strike 10 cuts. As I said, all of this increased. That will be on number 3 and number 8 for sure. That's a huge damage until I begin to test this. so I will try to make you video about a Blade Master as soon as I can. For the 3 spits against each others, it will not make any difference what gears I will go up or not, because it will make it so easy. But actually I have to make you this maybe before I even made the video for Atlas. Just for one reason, I can show you how was the Spectral Blade before. That's the only thing I got record on this for sure. Okay, second character I will talk about today is KFM. So actually I have Dragon Claw, Burning Fist, this some nerfs for PvP. So actually PvP I will not talk about it, it's always nerfed on most of characters. If there is a buff I will talk about it. So what are important for me, Fire have also BM Poharan, True Poharan, Soul Shield, Dragon Claw, Burning Fist Awaken, increase on True Poharan like this, and in BM and the Poharan will be 70%, going for 90%. Okay, so 20 here for sure, set 3 and set 8, so will be 40, and here also the same, increased by 20. Okay, and here is still also increased by this much. For wind also the same, nerf on PvP as always, and here also this skills increased by far, as you can see, from 80% to 40%, or sorry, to 120%. That's a 40% increase on True Poharan and 30% increase on BM and the Poharan Soul Shield, for sure the normal Poharan one. Also Cyclone Tit Awaken also increased by this much. Okay, for this skills was normally using 2 to do it, so Triple Tit and some others, so actually they take some breaks from them, also from the drab, as you can see, break remove from drab, this reset, and also break remove from this one drab for the tab. Okay, Viper Fang, what is on 2 and 1, breaker on counter removed, breaker removed from Firestorm, also Tit number 2, and also Firestorm Tit now below defensive skills for 5 seconds when used to cancel defense. For wind, the break removed from Triple Tit, that's number 2 still, and the Triple Tit now also brought defensive skills for 2 seconds, or sorry 5 seconds when used to cancel defense. That's a good thing for PvP for sure. For the wolf, breaker removed from the Spin Tit, that's number 2 also, Spin Tit now below defensive skills for 5 seconds, cancel defense. So any skill now was on the Triple Tit place on number 2, always cancel defense on the 3 spits. Okay, this one just PvP, PvP, and also Strike Stealer, Starcross, Atlas Earring, Mortar Fist, and Twisted Metal, Titan Surge damage modifier from just 68% to 168%. So that's all for the Kung Fu Master. I will take another character and will close the video on this, and actually I will make you videos for the others because that will take a long time. So next, Assassin. So here Fighting Spirit no longer applies Fighting Spirit resistance debuff, and that's for Serpent by the way. Short Bomb PvP I don't care about it. And for the buffs for also BM Poharan, True Poharan Soul Shields, it's like this. True Poharan will be 10% increase here, and for BM and the Poharan normal one actually will be 75% and 90%, or sorry, going for 15% increase on this. Same for the skill also, BM True Poharan on Dark Strike will be the same increase, or this one look like it's decreased or what? Look like this one decreased by the way, not sure why, from 90% to 75. I need to check this fast. Sadly I don't have the Soul Shield here on this character, so maybe I will take a look after some time and I will try to check this. I will try to play Poharan so I can get at least one piece, so I can check this one. And if you know any one of you playing for sure Assassin, you can tell me if that's a nerf or not. Also for Shadow, Fighting Spirit no longer applies Fighting Spirit resistant debuffs. For Phantom Fixed Shadow Serpent Run being used on certain NPC, whatever, that's a bug. Okay, and for Blade Poharan or BM Poharan, True Poharan Soul Shield for third spec, Night River Phantom Flitter, Dark Storm increased by this much, so actually that's a big number also for them. And for sure number 3 and the number 8 as always will make some changes. Okay, Fixed for Phantom, Fixed some decoy stance stills appear while in Phantom, well that's some bugs. And for Serpent, Poison Dagger if break value buffed, so actually it will do a better breaker. With this Poison Dagger CD added, not sure what it was there's no CD or what. Poison dagger 4% missed increase for 20 second matches 3 stats effect removed. Not sure what is this. If you had something like this, it's removed or what? Well, kinda strange. Poison dagger CD cannot be reset, and for common fits CD not being shared for Q and E and SS in frost poison. Okay, so that's a poison dagger. So it's doing this damage and doing a breach still, but there is no mistake at all. So that's really the change happened. Kinda strange a bit. Not sure how much it was this damage, but actually kinda strange for sure. So anyway, I will call this a day for this. So actually just I'm talked about 3 character. Still I will talk about more on the other videos, so to not make a long videos for nothing. So every video I will make, I will tell you what characters I am talking about on this video, so you can understand everything. And thank you for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.